Or maybe we can go back. Hi.
Hey guys!
Hey.
Welcome to another episode of Coffee Conversation. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure to smash it. Smash it real hard.
Okay.
And what else we got? You can check out all of our socials on blendedlifenetwork.com. And with that being said, what is our topic going to be today?
Let's jump into today's topic,
Yep.
which is transitioning between household to household. Both ways. Well, I guess transitioning is just transitioning. But we're going to start out with transitioning to the other parent's house. Maybe us taking the kids to the other parents, or them being picked up, I guess.
Yeah.
From school. For our 4 kids, I think it's pretty easy with them, with transitioning to the other parent's house. I think there's really no issues. We don't have a problem besides the kids every once in a blue moon. We don't want to go. And we're like, are you sure you don't want to go? No, I'm just kidding. No, I think that's the hardest part that we have is the kids will always ask us how many more days until we go to daddy's or to mommy's. And we tried, I feel like at first we started like letting them know how many days, and now it's just like we don't even tell them anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost like, why are you so worried about when you're going to be where and all this stuff? At the end of the day, we just tell them you're going to be either with mommy or daddy and with people who love you, and that's it. Like, enjoy the moment that you're in.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say is they really just we've been trying to teach them that they just need to really just enjoy the time that they're spending with whatever parent they're with and quit worrying about schedules and really getting down to the nitty gritty, because at the end of the day, I know the kids want that security and all that of when am I going to be where, but at the end of the day, they really just need to be kids and really just focus on the kid things and enjoy their time with the parent that they're with.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. So we've definitely changed a lot of that since the beginning of our transition periods till now. That would kind of be good to get into, like how transitioning was at first when we weren't really on good pages with exes, because I feel like some people go through hard times right now.
Yeah.
How would you kind of put that in a scenario?
I don't know. I feel like it was fine.
Yeah,
going over there.
Going back over to the houses was fine.
I think I hesitate because I feel like they were fine going back over there because we've always been encouraging of them going over to the other parent's house. Oh, you're gonna have fun, you're gonna do this, you're gonna have a great time with mommy, you're gonna have a great time with daddy, whichever kids are going.
Yeah.
At the beginning, the kids coming back home, now that was a different story, and I think a lot of it has to do with
the other parent
manipulation and parents making kids feel bad because, oh, I'm gonna miss you so much and all this kind of stuff. And when the kids are younger, they don't want to see their parents like sad or anything.
Or upset.
Yeah, so when they're seeing that, they just want to be with that parent. And so when all they're being told is how sad that parent's gonna be, they don't really want to leave, and so it makes it tough coming back. So I think at the beginning, it was tough for us because we dealt with a lot of that.
Oh yeah, on both sides.
Yeah,
definitely. And I think for us at that time, it's just kind of like you have to let the kids start adjusting, and just what we did is we always would sit on the couch. We'd be watching cartoons already or have cartoons on.
Yeah. And
then just let them come sit down, like just adjust. Basically, like let them go at their own pace, and I think that helped a lot because then they can be like, okay, like we feel safe. Yeah. Because our kids were pretty little when we first got together.
Yeah.
So
they pretty much all they had known is me and Crystal together.
Yeah.
Jaden was a little bit older, but all the other kids, honestly, they've been with us two together more than us with our exes together. So this is more of what they know. Yeah. And I think the transitions are getting a lot easier and a lot better. But we still have the struggles that I'm sure a lot of you guys have.
I think it's more so struggles with the kids' attitudes now.
Yeah.
Because they're parented a certain way at the other house than they are with us. So that's what we struggle with right now.
Yeah, I don't think the transitions going back over to the other house are that bad. And honestly, they're with us
Majority of the time.
like probably 80-20, 90-10. Like they're with us a majority of the time. And so I don't feel like transitions are that bad because they're really going to be back. Just Paisley and Tyler will usually be back the next morning. Jaden and Stella are with us literally probably
they're only at their dad's
every other weekend, 4 days a month.
Yeah.
So we really have most of the kids all the time. So transitions going back over there aren't that hard because they know they're coming back.
Yeah.
And
now, we try and stay, we're very positive towards the other house. Because at the end of the day, you being negative to them or making them feel bad or anything, it's just going to hurt them. And that's really sad to do to kids.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to dive into is like what we do and kind of things you guys can take away from this video on transitions either way. And right now we're talking about transitions going over there. And I really think that's a big part is talking positive about the other parent's house, and just being encouraging of the kids going over there and building that relationship with that parent. Because at the end of the day, only if that relationship between that child and that parent is not the way it's supposed to be, it becomes that parent's fault because you've given every opportunity for that parent to like step up and like take on what they're supposed to.
Be positive, and they can definitely feel and see the negative and any kind of hurt that they might be getting from the other house, and then they come back and they're just like, okay. They're starting to get like smarter. I think Jaden's almost 9, he's 8, almost 9, and Paisley's 7, and they catch on like this.
Yeah.
Like they can feel our emotions right when they walk in the door.
Yeah.
So tread lightly.
Yeah, and if you're feeling stressed and all that, the kids can sense that. So I think it's really important to try and keep that positive attitude, but at the same time not be like super stressed out about the transition as well, which sometimes is hard, especially to the transition coming back for us. Which I think it should be the next thing, transitioning to our house.
I'm not a mind reader, guys. Nice try.
I was like, finish the sentence. No, but transitioning back over to our house.
You would think it would be easier since they're with us more, but I think the more they're away from the other parent, it's harder for them in a way. But I feel like we get the beat end of the stick every time. Yeah.
Yeah, when two households are parented totally separately, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate, the transitions can be very hard sometimes when they come back. When they have a lot more leniency at the other house and then have to come back over to our house where we have our normal rules, structure, like everything is always the same when they come back over here. It takes a good 24 hours.
I would say like a day.
Yeah, a good
day and a half.
Good day and a half for them to get back in their routine of things because they're so used to, I can do whatever I want when they're over at the other house. And
over here we have rules.
Yep, and when they come back, we just have to keep instilling in their head, this is our house, this is our rules. I don't care what your mom or dad's house does. This is our house.
Yes.
And I think that's one thing that you guys can always instill on them is that's your mom or that's your dad, but their house is their house. This is our house, and we do our own rules and our own structure here. And
I would think to just remind them too, like you're not being mean or anything or trying to be mean at all, because we always tell the kids we're not trying to be mean. We do the things that we do because we love you, and you will realize that when you get older.
Yeah, and our biggest thing too is loving each other.
Oh yeah. That's our big rule of love in this family.
Yeah, we just want the kids to love on each other because we want them to have that close relationship as they get older. And I think it kind of helps because we are a truly blended family with having our own 2 kids together.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids all have that connection, and I think it brings them a lot closer. But when they don't have that connection with siblings at the other house, and they get talked down to, or
they're separated more.
And
treated differently, I would say.
Like, kind of like ignored in a way. Like, they kind of, it's like every man fend for themselves.
And they strive for that attention.
Yeah, so they're all striving for that attention when they're over at that other house. And when they come back over here, it's not like that. So it takes them some time of trying to get back into the routine of things. Like, no, we're all in this together. I don't have to fend for myself over here.
We're a team.
And I don't need to acquire that kind of attention over here.
Yeah.
And then one of the kids in particular, too, when they go over to the other house, they're spoiled and it's all about them. And so that one acts out in a way to where, like, it needs to be about them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. So I think with that, we mostly, I don't know, how would you say we kind of go about that? Because I think when they come back, they strive for that bad attention, trying to act out because they get their way when they whine at the other house, or act out, because kids will do anything to get your attention. And if you're not paying attention to them, they will do bad things to get your attention.
Mm-hmm.
Witness, I've done that in high school. So
the 2 younger ones, Stella and Tyler,
they struggle a lot.
They'll usually act out the most to try and get the most attention. And I think because they don't get the most attention necessarily, at least one of them doesn't at the other parent's house. The other one only gets attention when acting out, so, you know.
We get the anger, I guess you can say, an angry side of them when they come back. And it goes away eventually, and especially because they're with us majority of the time. So it's literally just those moments when they're over there for 2 days, 3 days even in a row. But if they're over to the other house for a few hours or one day and then they're back already, then they're usually
it's not usually, the transition is not bad, but
their warm-up is more so we have to keep instilling in them, like, no, we will acknowledge you. We will get to whatever you need as soon as we can do that. And we're here for you. Like, we're always going to be here for you and love you. And kind of be on, like, we have your back kind of thing.
I think the biggest thing is when they come back over to the house, they're testing the waters.
Oh, yeah.
They're testing what they can get away with. They know your rules and they know your structure.
Because you ask them and they know.
But they've come back from a house that doesn't have what you guys do. Mm-hmm. And so they're testing, okay, maybe I can try and do this over here. Mm-hmm. So I think that's one thing to keep in mind is they're just really trying to see what they can get away with at the end of the day and see if they can push your buttons. And you got to just keep instilling in their head, that is not how it is over here. And I know it's hard, but eventually they'll realize, okay,
it'll click.
Like, I can't get away with this over here, so I'm gonna have to just do it this way.
Yeah.
But you guys gotta remember too, it's hard on the kids too, and you gotta keep that in mind because they really have to try and be 2 different people if you think about it. Yeah. They gotta be one way at one person's house and another way at your house. So I think that's very important to keep in mind, and you can't just instantly discipline and like get on them like right away because they're having to adjust too, just as much as you're having to adjust getting all the kids back. Like, we can literally go from having 2 kids to having 6 in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so just as much as we're having to adjust, they're having to adjust too. So I definitely think that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, which I think we were talking about it a little bit earlier. We kind of have to mentally prepare ourselves too for when they do come back home, because sometimes it's easy and it's a walk in the park, and other times it's like, I feel like they got no attention at the other house that they were wanting, and when they come back, it's just like, okay, let me strive for the bad attention because I didn't get it at all.
Yeah.
And then once they know that they get good, we always remind them, give attention the good ways. Suck up in a good way.
Yeah.
Help out. Like, love on your brothers and sisters. Love on us. Like, if you want to do movie night and just want cuddles, like, let us know. Movie night and cuddles, and we'll do it. You know what I mean?
But like you said, I think the easier days are usually the ones where they went over to the other parent's house for a few hours and then literally over the next morning, because they didn't have that time to really get into that structure of that household.
Just over there.
So they're just right back into our house. It's more when they're over there for a few more days.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure like a lot of you, the families can relate that do like 1 week on, 1 week off or something like that. But
I don't know. I feel like that'd be difficult too, in a way.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like with Jaden and Stella, I would say with my two, it's a lot easier, and their transition phase is a lot quicker. But that's because they're with us a lot more.
Yeah.
They're only gone 4 days out of the month. Paisley and Tyler, we never know our schedule until that week or maybe even the day before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have a set schedule, but
we have them
both
50-50.
parents work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have them 50-50, but you know, the other parent works and we usually end up having them over at our house.
Which we like because at least they're with family.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Yeah, but they're usually with us, you know, most of the week
Mm-hmm.
and then every other weekend. So, you know,
it's a lot harder for them
They're going
because
to-
they're bouncing back and
yeah.
forth a lot more.
they're
So I
going back
think
a lot more.
their adjustment is a lot harder. But what I have noticed a lot with them growing up, and even with the inconsistency with Paisley and Tyler's schedule, I feel like they always come back and they find comfort in like the rest of the kids' home.
Yeah.
So that's been a huge plus for us. Like if you have other children too, when they come back, I mean, do game night or something small, or movie night, or do Duck Duck Goose, or whatever you can do to kind of just get them meshed back in together.
I know it's funny, like, because most of the time Jaden and Stella are already here. They're with us, like we said,
Yeah.
all the time. So Paisley and Tyler, when they come back over here, that's just like they just jump right back into it because that's what they're
Yeah.
used to. But it's hilarious the times they come back, and if Jaden and Stella aren't here, they're like, what is going on right now?
Where are they?
Where are they, and when are they coming back? But it really, like, it warms my heart because
Yeah.
it shows how much love they have between each other,
And they're not even blood related.
and they're not blood related. Like,
Yeah.
if you were to see them, you wouldn't think that they weren't.
No.
And that's one thing that we really try to bring amongst the kids is that closeness and that love with each other. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, what are some things you guys are dealing with or going through with your guys' transitions, and what kind of advice do you guys have? Because I think it's good to share with other people, because our experience is going to be different than a lot of other people's experiences. And if your experience is way different and you have some different advice for people, it'd be awesome if you could share it in the comments, more so the community can relate to that situation and be like, wow, I'm in that situation and this has really helped me. So like, none of the stuff that we do here is like for personal gain. Like, we literally started this stuff to help other blended families because we struggled at the beginning. We still have our struggles, and the blended life is really, really hard, and it's hard to find like a community to go to.
I would think people would want to hear kind of where we came from the beginning to where we are now with transitioning.
Yeah.
Like how bad it used to be. Because, I mean, people are probably just getting into relationships, I would assume.
Yeah.
And they're probably dealing with the hot mess that we had to go through.
Yeah.
Because transitions were pretty bad. I mean, they were bad on both ends. Both ends. Mine, I actually had a drop off, and we probably lived 15 minutes away from their dad.
Yeah, for 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, and we literally met in the middle. Like, it was horrible. It was a hot mess disaster. Like, I didn't want him to know where we lived, I know they say you're supposed to technically in court orders. It was just
Not everybody's. It depends on the situation.
Yeah, so mine at the beginning was pretty bad. So I didn't want him knowing where me and the kids were staying. So we had written in a stipulation and stuff in our court orders of a drop-off point, and we had to use the drop-off point. And even then, it was like really awkward and weird. Like we would go, and Dylan would show up and come with me to go pick up the kids or drop them off, and he would just sit there and smile. And my ex would literally either say hi, and if Dylan wouldn't respond back, it would be what's his problem?
It wasn't. I never intentionally not responded back.
Well, you would say hi, but it was like, why do you say hi like that?
It was the way I would say it. But I have this issue with a lot of people. Like, I'm very quiet, and
he just doesn't really talk much.
Like, you say hi, I'm like, hey.
You believe it or not, he does not talk that much.
This is very uncommon for me.
I guess you can say talking wise, because he does not talk this much.
Nope.
I'm the talker. And
I talk to her, but other than that, if you know me, I'm sitting somewhere and just listening. I love to listen because you learn a lot from listening to other people talk, and they don't even realize it. Yeah. So you learn a lot of things that way. But
I think that's kind of where we struggled a lot with.
Yeah, it was more the way I would say it. My transitioning was more kids just crying and not wanting to be with us. But like I was saying at the beginning, I think a lot of that was
because they weren't being encouraged to come to our household.
There was no encouragement coming back over here, and there was.
I would tell what did you have in your paperwork? What was that thing called that you had at the beginning?
Oh, first right of refusal.
Yeah. So if any of you guys have had that or are going through
get it out of the paperwork like as soon as you can. It is
so bad.
First right of refusal is basically if it's my day and say I have to go do something, go into work, I have to give the other parent the first right of refusal to watch the kids, which was horrible because at that point in time, Crystal and I were getting really serious. I mean, we were getting close to talking about marriage and stuff like that. And so she's more than capable as gonna be like soon to be my wife to take care of the kids. But yet I'm having to take them over to the other parent. Like, I understand certain situations may require that kind of paperwork, but when the other parent is using it to abuse the situation and abuse that person, then I think it's kind of ridiculous to have it in there because at the end of the day, they have their house, you have your house. The kids should be at both houses equally. Yeah. They should be able to spend the time with their stepmom or their stepdad, build that bond as a parent figure in their life. I think it's very important. Like, that should not be taken away from that household. Yeah. And so I think that's my biggest take on that. But the kids would come back crying because they weren't encouraged to come back over at our house because of issues they had with you or me. Yeah. So
it was bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad at first.
But you will get through it, I promise.
Oh yeah.
As the kids get older, they get smarter and they start catching on to things and they realize what's okay, what's not okay. And as they get older, you can talk to them more about, look, what this is going on, this is not okay, this shouldn't be happening. And you can be a lot more open with them. I mean, you got to keep it to their age, but as they get older, you can talk to them about a lot more. So it does get easier, and I promise it does. Yeah. It's just you got to stick through that hard time.
Yeah. I would think something that I would tell I wouldn't just say stepmoms, any step parents in general, no matter how bad that other person can be to you during transitioning. I mean, I went through a pretty hard beating, I would say, at the beginning. It was to the point where, like, I would even answer the door and it would be, where's Dylan at? So at first, like, of course you get, like, your body just starts fuming and you get that, like, heated feeling and you want to just react and be like, who the hell are you? But at the end of the day, no. Like, that's their mom. You need to be respectful. And I think for me, being consistent with just smiling when I open the door, hey, good morning, how are you? Like, just being nice. I mean, at the end of the day,
We
like,
both had that problem. We both came picking up the kids with smiles on the face, and the
Yeah.
other parent didn't like that.
I guess not, but they enjoy it now. Let me tell you.
Yeah, we're getting on the other side of all this, but I mean, we still have our struggles with transitions, but it's more the attitude and the kids looking for the attention now more than
Versus our transitions
Yeah.
with the parents. I think transitioning with the parents is more, it's easy. It's so much easier. There is a light at the end of the tunnel.
there's
I
a lot more
promise.
there's a lot more respect for you, and there's a lot
Yeah.
more respect for me coming from the other parent. So
Mhm.
that makes it a lot easier.
Easier, yeah.
And let me tell you, we weren't always there. Like, I used to be so stressed out even before I met Crystal and I was by myself. Like, I had to go to therapy and I had to go to counseling because I was so stressed out and in such a dark place dealing with the separation and the way I was being treated. And we've come so far to where we are now. I can tell you that it does get easier and can get better, but you just gotta like pray and you gotta stay positive and you gotta keep speaking what you want to come true. Like, if you want something to come true, you gotta speak it,
Mm-hmm.
because if you never speak it, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you gotta believe that it's gonna happen.
Be careful what you say, because the power of the tongue is powerful.
Yes, what you say will come true.
Yep. So don't say nothing bad.
Which we talked to the kids about too.
Yeah.
They're like, if you guys seen our Instagram, Jaden was riding his bike. I haven't fallen yet. I'm like, boy, you better stop saying that because you're gonna fall.
You're gonna fall.
But yeah. Anyway, back to transitions. I think it's just something that's a constant. You got to constantly be working on it,
Mhm.
and it's gonna never be easy. I don't
No,
think.
I think if anything, it might get harder as they get older. I mean, some ways easier, but some ways harder. I don't know.
I mean, we don't have any like teenagers or anything yet, so we can't technically speak on that as much.
Yeah.
So if any of you guys, like I said earlier, have teenagers or something, it'd be awesome if you guys could comment on this and kind of give us some insight or give some other people insight so they can have, some advice
Yeah.
on that. But what I think as the kids get older, what I'm worried about is like, oh, well, I can drive now and I want to go to my mom's and then just going to their mom's, or I want to go to my dad's and just going to their dad's and really playing both sides. And
Yeah, I think at that point you have to really call out the other parent, or not call them out, but call out your kid
yeah.
and talk to the other parent. And that's something we've been working on and actually doing a lot better in. I feel like I've always done that. I'm straightforward. I
Yeah.
don't like fakeness. I don't like lying. I will be straightforward with you. You will know if I'm mad. I'll just I'll just really straight up. If the kids say anything and I'm just like, oh, okay, call them out in front of their dad. That's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, but I think that's another
Yeah.
thing on transition days. Like, we get told a lot of things by the kids that go on at the other house.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we're starting to do is when that other parent is dropping them off or picking them up, we ask the other parent in front of the kids of what they were saying. So it's not he said, she said, and it's going back and forth, and then the other parents getting worked up, and you're getting worked up, because we went through that too with transitions, because the kids were playing both sides, because we weren't
communicating as much as we should have
with the other
parent.
with the other household, and so it was making it tough because we were getting worked up because we were hearing one thing, the other parents were getting worked up because they were hearing one thing, and at the end of the day, it was the kids just saying stuff. But at the end of the, like, I keep saying at the end of the day, my goodness. Stop. At the end of the day, no, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, it's important that the kids realize that you guys are on the same page.
Yep.
And that they cannot play both sides, because their excuses are going to be called out.
Yep.
And what they're saying is going to be called out. And the other side of that is, if the kid's telling the truth and you call it out in front of the other parent and the parent says no, well, now the kid knows that that parent's lying, and now
Yeah.
how are they going to look at that parent?
Exactly.
So at the end of
Call
the
'em
day,
out.
the truth will always come to surface, and it's always going to work its way to the top.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
That's something
'cause-
we've been really
Because
instilling.
that's part of on transitions, because you're just that
Yeah.
transitioning point between from one house to the other.
I think that would help a lot of parents too with co-parenting, even as they get older, especially as they get older. But even when they are able to like talk and the kids can actually like comprehend what's going on,
Hmm.
it's amazing to do. I understand you
Yeah.
can't really so much with babies and little ones, but once they get old enough to like understand and realize, that's like huge.
Yeah.
It'll help a lot.
Hmm. Well, now that we are almost 23 minutes over our 10-minute mark that we're trying to keep
Oh yeah.
our coffee conversations.
Sorry guys.
A lot of this stuff, it's really hard to try and keep to 10 minutes
Yeah.
because there's so much information in what we're trying to talk about, and we really want to try and get the information across to you guys as best as we can. But I hope we helped you guys in some way today.
Yep.
If we didn't cover something that you guys have a question about or need help on, I'll leave the email below, or you can reach us at blendedlifenetwork.com. All of our socials will be there. We have so many ways to get a hold of us, and we are really just trying to build this community to help as many people as we can. My goal is to be able to help literally anyone that needs it in the blended family community, because it is such a hard road. And not only that, you guys can help us too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
we've just in the community, like seeing other people's posts and stuff like that, it's helped us. So
Mhm.
this whole community in general has been awesome. So thank you guys
Yes.
for joining the community, and thank you for being part of this. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we're going to have more videos coming out. And if you would like us to talk about something,
Let us know.
let us know.
please.
Reach out and we'll do a video on it for you guys. Like, that's what we're here for. So again, thank you. And always, we love you guys, and we will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.
Bye.
This ain't over.